Hi, good afternoon, everyone. We'll wait for a few more seconds and then we will start. We'll wait for one more minute and we'll start, I think. Okay, by the time everybody is joining, let me introduce Pankaj. Pankaj is our sales director based out of North. Today's session or the sales training would be taken by Pankaj. Pankaj comes with an 18 plus years of experience on cybersecurity, and he's been part of Indusface for a couple of years now. And I would request Pankaj to take this up. Pankaj, over to you.
Thanks, Nutan. Shall we start, or you still
You can start.
spare out another minute for people to join? Fine. A warm welcome to everyone. We have people across different time zones. Thanks for joining this session, and hopefully I'll try my best to impart the sales jargon which we use while interacting with the customers, and that knowledge I believe will help you out taking our products introduction across different clients. Now, before I delve deeper on our product and what all offerings are there, I'll just try to bring in few things, few highlights, which you should focus on while identifying opportunities for us. So, Indusface one it's a truly make in India product. So it's a SaaS based solution, and it takes care of the applications which are publicly accessible. So scenarios where a customer wants to safeguard their intranet applications or APIs, we don't fall in that category. We are more useful for the use cases where there are publicly accessible web applications or APIs are there. And one more important thing about Indusface is that this is probably one and only OEM available in the market which has taken birth out of the vulnerability management domain. So there are a lot of players who are into the application security domain. A few of them have a focus on the CDN aspect. That's how they started their journey. Some have been in the DNS part. But we are the only ones who have started their journey from the vulnerability management domain, and which actually is the de facto reason behind embracing WAF in the environment. So we have 5,000 plus customers in 95 plus countries, and thanks to partner community like you, we are able to achieve a growth at a very appreciable rate. Now, if I talk about my platforms which we have to offer, the flagship product, which is Aptrana WAAP, which is Web Application and API Protection, popularly known as Aptrana. Then we have an application assessment tool, which is popularly known as the name of Indusface WAS. And then another SSL certificate business, which is carried out as a separate business unit. Now, if you see in the middle part, you can see a lot of research organizations. They have identified the effectiveness of our solution, and in the Gartner Peer Insights, we have been there in the top category from last 3 years. Thanks to all those customers who have been there with us. And if I talk about compliance and certifications, we are ISO 27001 certified, GDPR compliant, SOC 2 certified. High Trust is a new addition, which is pretty useful for health domain, specifically if we talk about the North America market. Then PCI DSS certification is in place, and of course, I believe we are the only OEMs which are empaneled on certain also, which really helps in the matter of getting the latest threat intelligence. I already mentioned we have 5,000 plus customers across different countries, and this is the leaderboard. Some of these key uh, customers who have been leveraging our solution across different domains. You can see BFSI, we have good amount of exposure. We are catering to organizations like Yes Bank, HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank. Then insurance, if I talk about names like Niva Bupa, Future Generali. If I talk about ITS is one domain where you get volume and complexity both in terms of the types of attacks you face. So TCS and L&T Mindtree, the paramount names in the ITS domain, they are depending on us for safeguarding their applications. And if in healthcare, names like Cipla and Dr. Reddy is there. So you can see these are all referenceable customers. If in any of these categories you have a customer with whom you want to have a deeper dive on our solution, we have referenceable customers as well. If needed, they can be put across for a talk. Every year we come out with the state of we come out with a research paper on the state of application security, and this is just a glimpse of that gets printed in across printed media. And if you want to have an access of this report, this is available on our portal. You can take it out from there and have an idea about what kind of trends are coming up in terms of attacks, as well as how you can safeguard yourself against. So basis this research, we have identified certain top challenges for CISOs today when we talk about the application security domain. The first one we have identified is the unknown assets and vulnerability management. Since the landscape awareness is not there, and then the list of vulnerabilities is a never-ending race. CISOs end up running a losing race. 76% of application there are unresolved security flaws, and it takes more than a year. And because of that, there is an increase in the number of breaches, and that is almost 180%, and specifically on the web app side. Now, other thing is we all talk about availability, and while ensuring that you embrace certain inline solutions, and you end up keep putting your business continuity on risk, because we all have seen what happened when CrowdStrike misbehaved. The whole world had to go into a standstill. Other thing is we have identified that protection at internet scale is an issue which CISOs are facing. So today everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. I believe hackers are pretty smart and faster in embracing AI at the same time, and which is creating a lot of challenges in managing these kind of attacks. And the last one, the cybersecurity domain, there are a lot of tools, a lot of options available, and at times, the CISOs unknowingly end up creating a lot of complexity in their environment. They have multiple tools doing similar kind of jobs, and it gets really difficult to manage operations. So the answer to all these challenges which I just identified for you, the first one is autonomous remediation. Like I was saying, that first, it is difficult to find out to get the awareness of the attack surface, and then even if you have the awareness, it's very difficult to take care of the long list of vulnerabilities. So autonomous remediation, it answers to that. You can easily find out what all with the help of the tool which we have, Discovery, you can easily find out what all attack surface is there. you can continuously scan the vulnerabilities which are there, and the remediation is also there. How we will be talking about it in detail in the later part. Now, the next thing is design for failure is imbibed into our solution. So there is a chance, everybody knows, even in the cloud or hosting terminology, we don't say 100%, we say 5 nines or 6 nines. That refinement is still in the process. So there is a chance of failure, and our solution, it takes care of that. If at all, if there is a failure happens, we ensure that your application does not get impacted, because the automated failover has been built into it, and it ensures that in case of misbehave on the WAF side, at least user experience is not hindered. Then, like I was saying, that artificial intelligence is getting embraced, and most of the threat actors are smart enough to use it. We have an answer towards that. We have an unmetered protection. So all the good data belongs to the customer and the bad data belongs to Indusface. We have a behavioral DDoS in place. So what it do is it analyzes the traffic and the pattern, and accordingly it takes action basis those patterns identified. Of course, bot mitigation has also been baked into this solution, and one can be sure of the increasing bot attacks these days can be taken care of. Something like these LLM based attacks which are coming up, and this has been complemented with the 24/7 SOC, which further ensures that CISOs are having a good sleep at night. And my team will be at the job, and in case of any harakiri, they will bring it in the notice through different kind of uh, triggers. And like I was saying, in cybersecurity, so many options are there. So here our solution, it gives you a single pane of glass, and it takes care of holistic. It has a holistic approach of towards the application layer security. It's not that you have to buy one particular technology and then you have to juggle up with other piece of technologies to have application security in totality. Our solution has a answer to most of the queries pertaining to application security. So these days I use this terminology a lot in front of my customer, that my solution is the S400. It covers completely. It gives you a 360-degree coverage against any kind of attacks on the application layer. So this slide is where we will dive deeper on different aspects of Aptrana, which is Web Application and API Protection Suite. So on the left side, you can see this infinity kind of figure is there, because we believe that security, cybersecurity, application security is a never-ending race. But we have tried to put in certain pieces to ensure that even though it is a never-ending race, it's not that the client will face any fatigue. Systematically, this never-ending race will be ran, and things will be managed. So first menu option is the exposure management, wherein like I said, major problem at the customer side is that you are not aware of the attack surface, and even if you are aware of, the very next difficulty is that how to manage it. So the first question is exposure management, where my tools will help in continuously discovering what all assets are there. It goes to the level of websites, subdomains, APIs, and even to the level where it will tell you the endpoint. So today, most of the organizations, they want to have digital transformation, but they are not able to do it in a fearless manner. Bringing in API into the architecture is an easy thing, but then managing those APIs from the cybersecurity perspective is a challenge, and that's what my tool addresses it very effectively by first identifying what all endpoints are there. So in digital transformation, you will end up serving business requirement, and in this process, at times a particular API gets called into a different application, and in the process, the endpoint which has been created, the InfoSec team is not aware of, and that open window, a threat actor can easily sniff and play a havoc. Now, with these, our tool, they can easily find out that what all endpoints are there, and if InfoSec is not aware of, with this tools reporting, they can get an awareness and they can take necessary actions. You can manage your DNS records and secure them, and at the same time, uh, it also we have seen in a lot of organizations where the applications are no more on use, or the APIs are no more in use, but still they have not been deprecated. So exposure management gives you all that information. Even it tells you if your Swagger file is incomplete, and it helps you in healing those incomplete Swagger files. The next thing is, once you know your exposure, what is your exposed assets, you want to know what all vulnerabilities are there. So like I was saying, ours is the only organization which has taken birth out of the vulnerability management solution, and this is our forte. So OWASP top 10 category attacks, SAW top 25 category vulnerabilities, and of course, since we are empaneled on certain, we get a lot of threat intelligence, which we leverage in our signature, and we help customers in finding out those vulnerabilities. And it's not a simple report which comes out. There is a AI engine in the background which helps in identifying those vulnerabilities and prioritizing those into, or categorizing those vulnerabilities into the different segments: critical, high, and medium. So it gets easy for the CISO to strategize. We are even going to the next level, wherein today most of the organizations, they said that the vulnerabilities, that it's a huge list. It gets really difficult to refine that. So the false positive analysis, finding out, verifying whether how many of those results are true, actually vulnerabilities, it's very much taken care in this solution. So you can easily have a sound sleep. The solution will do all this job. It will identify those vulnerabilities, and it will do the false positive analysis also, so that the effort is directed towards the right areas. You don't waste your time in on the wrong vulnerabilities or the wrong results. Next part is, once you have refined those vulnerabilities, you have done the false positive analysis. Now you want to fix those vulnerabilities, which is itself a difficult job, because let's say you have identified over a year, you have found some 500 or 600 vulnerabilities. It takes a lot of time to fix those vulnerabilities. We have found that some of the vulnerabilities, organizations are not able to fix them even for a year's time, more than that. Herein, we have brought the automation part, wherein what you can do is, with a feature like Swift Comply, you just have to press that button, and within flat 72 hours, all the vulnerabilities will be virtually patched by our solution. We will not touch the source code, of course, but at the WAF level, it will ensure that those vulnerabilities are not harnessed by any threat actor. It secures every digital entry point, be it SSL, WAF, or API, in one platform. And like I said earlier, ours is an unmetered behavioral DDoS. So generally, all the solutions which are available in the market, they talk about certain thresholds around the DDoS. It can be on throughput basis or on the session basis, but we provide a unmetered DDoS service, and that also where it can analyze the patterns, and the basis which, if the defined thresholds are at risk, it will start throwing captcha to get rid of the robotic traffic. Bot mitigation is also there, and like I highlighted earlier, my team will be giving a monitoring of your websites and APIs for 24/7 basis. So from the compliance perspective, it's very, very easy. You just have to press a button, 72 hours, all the vulnerabilities will be found, and it will be patched at the WAF level. So the next scan when you run after 72 hours, it will show you zero vulnerability. So application audit, which is a pain for a lot of NBFCs and other organizations which are under the scan most of the times, they for them this is a very useful feature. Now, in the whole process, at times CISO will get a question from the application team that in the whole process, the application's performance, or you can say your user experience, may go for a toss. So it has a built-in CDN also in this. You can leverage the CDN without any extra charges. You just have to raise a request, and CDN services will be in place, and it will be it can ensure that all the static data gets delivered to the customers at a fast pace, and user experience gets enhanced. So the next product, like I highlighted, is the Indusface VAS platform, which is a risk assessment tool for applications. And it only do the risk detection part, but it does that in a different way. One is that, of course, I have explained you asset and API discovery. The other thing is the PT as a service thing. You can integrate the penetration testing, and those results of penetration testing as a service will get delivered. The results can be verified of the scanner which you ran, and then you can ensure the zero false positive service is also there. If you want to check the business logics, if they are running, that's an add-on thing, and the team can help you on that. Sorry. The next thing which we are doing differently as compared to our peers is AccuRisk. So today, everybody is saying that we find the vulnerabilities and we showcase those vulnerabilities in a categorized manner, which is basically on the basis of CVE scoring. We have gone a step ahead more than that. So AccuRisk does what? It do a risk-based vulnerability scoring. It can analyze the traffic, the pattern of that traffic, and basis which it can give a business implication scoring to the different application. So imagine a scenario, you ran a scan and you identified a critical vulnerability. But with the help of AccuRisk, you see that the business implication scoring is low. At the same time, a scan has come out with a high category vulnerability wherein the AccuRisk score is high. That is, the business implication score is high. That means the risk factor is high. So easily, your application team can prioritize between where to go. In general scenario, they would have considered the critical vulnerability. But with the help of AccuRisk kind of tools in place, you can easily differentiate between, and you can easily channelize your efforts towards the right direction. Other things are like automated POCs of vulnerability. So these POCs are proof of concept, like I said, false positive analysis. So once, let's say, there is a bone of contention on a particular vulnerability, my team can do on your request, they can do the penetration testing, and without any extra charges, they will come out with the insights. Those insights are establishing two things. One, that whether it is actually a vulnerability or not. And secondly, let's say it is an actual vulnerability. Now you can leverage that information, and your application team can see those insights, and they can reduce their effort and time to fix those vulnerabilities. Because at the end of the day, you have to fix all these vulnerabilities in the application. But it's a job, and it's a difficult job. But with this information which comes along, it gets very easy for our application team to do their stuff, because once I submit the POC report, proof of concept or the false positive analysis, you can easily see where in the form that vulnerability is, what kind of header issues are there, and easily that application team can fix all that. Next, most of the organizations today talk about digital transformation, so they want support around Jenkins. So we have CI/CD integration, SIM integration in place. And like I said, compliance is a big headache for the organizations these days. And if they want that to be taken care of, that's an add-on which I have already explained, how the vulnerability remediation can be done through our Aptrana solution. So any Q&As you have, you can punch in the Q&A form. We will certainly answer on that. So I'll wait for a couple of moments before we take questions.
So on the right hand, there's a question mark where it says Q&A. You can type in your questions. So we'll take the questions here. So because you have a question. We are doing VAPT high trust through certified auditors. My question is, what is the use of tool? Like, do you really you rely on the auditor, or we can do VAPT in-house with the help of these tools?
Well, certainly this can a very good question. So certainly, this tool can subsidize the effort required in doing the VAPT, because you have to run you can leverage our tool in doing that VA scan. And of course, if it is an Indian customer, we are empaneled on certain. So the whole VAPT effort, we can deliver it on your behalf.
Okay, great. Any other question? So we'll have a continuing incentive plan also be discussed now. So any questions so that we can move ahead? There's another question. Is VAPT possible virtually?
Yeah, very much. The application has to be accessible over the internet. I think world has really changed. Certain organizations, if we talk about in BFSI domain, they have certain legal issues where they want the resource to be present in their premises. But otherwise, mostly we have seen that VAPT can be delivered. In fact, we are delivering for a lot of conglomerates in the NBFC domain, in the retail as well. This can be done virtually, not an issue.
Okay, so any other questions? If not, then we can move a little ahead. Okay, so we should display the poll, I suppose. We can go to the next slide, Pankaj.
Sure. Before we move to the poll, I'll just like to sum up one thing. So you have already heard me out and have seen it. Probably in the demos, if you line up, there we can show how integrated, how holistic this tool is in actually when we talk about the app security. So this is one single tool which can give you an exposure of your application landscape. It can do the risk detection. It can do the risk protection, DDoS, bot mitigation, monitoring of your application, and CDN also. Imagine if you go for these tools in silos, it gets so difficult to integrate the output of each tool into the other tool.
So there's one more question. What is the maximum ticket size?
Oh, that's the actual अभी मजा आ रहा है कि ये तो sales वाला training है. Yeah, so ticket size, see, it varies. What we have seen is in enterprise, the ticket size can go in the range of uh, uh, you know I'll say in INR terms, it can easily go to in the range of 50 lakh to start, even at the lower. We have seen certain customers who started the journey with us in range of 25 lakh, and then we ended up going to 1 CR, because it's the application development is a never ending thing. And once customer develops a confidence that this tool is, see, it's very easy to get a tool in the environment. The biggest pain is to leverage that tool effectively. And our solution answers that query, which is the actual pain of a CISO. So once he experiences this product, the number of applications increase, and so is the moolah which you can rake in.
So well answered. So ticket size can vary from the minimum 10 plus lakhs or maximum 50 plus lakhs. To be very straightforward, and it all depends on the enterprise level or something. As we are talking today on the security portfolio, very well explained by Pankaj. If you have seen your mobiles or something, there is an outrage which has happened the recent one. There are people struggling to log in the Google accounts. The people who are struggling to log in their orders on Starbucks, flights, they're happening. The recent situation is there. Trust me, the security portfolio is growing, and the people who are in risk today, you can come back, ask any questions. We are here to support you. Either you're talking or in terms you're developing the discussions or something. Please think over it and put it to us. We will help you out in supporting your customers to be on top of their vulnerability assessment or application security when it comes to their security portfolio. So we should move ahead, Pankaj, to the next slide. Okay, there's a poll. Yeah, Pankaj, over to you.
So did you understand today's presentation? I have tried to keep it pretty simple, I hope. I have kept most of the technical stuff aside. So you can pop in
the
your...
present here, so you should also help us understand. Hope you understood very well the presentation. There's another question coming.
So
Can API
I
security
hope you
be...
guys have watched in. The next question is, how many solutions do we have?
Okay, by the time this answer is going to take up, there's one question which has come in, Pankaj.
Yeah.
Can API security be a standalone solution, or if then it is only a managed services?
Yes, API security. This is a very, very hot cake for us today. A lot of organizations, they have gone for different WAFs, but then API is something which has just come up in past few years. Yes. So to answer your query, they can have API security as a solution. So for web apps, they can have something different. For APIs, they can leverage Indusface. It's possible.
Perfect. If there is any question, you keep on typing. We will take it up. You can go to the next poll, Pankaj.
What are the core pillars of Aptrana AppSec platform? The slide where that infinity sign was there.
There's a clue for the viewers.
Yes, I want everybody to have a taste the success. Even this test.
That's amazing. So we are here to support the sales team out here. So Pankaj is already supporting.
Can we move to the next? We have responses with us.
We'll give some time. I hope they're answering. So stay tuned, guys. We are here to announce the incentives also, and then probably we'll end up this session. Before that, there's a very small. Probably we are reaching the end. There's only 2-3 slides. We request you to be online, and that will help each other.
So
Okay.
we have the thrilling part for you guys. You guys have to wait for a couple of slides. Then the most interesting part, Nutan will be explaining to you. She has one slide, but the most interesting one she has kept for herself. That is incentives.
Perfect. So let's go back to the incentive. So we don't have anything as such on presentation here. Incentives are very attractive for anybody here when it comes to sales. Even I'm excited to know what is the incentive I'm getting. I'm sure Pankaj is the same, and people who are out there here on the call also would be interested in knowing what is the incentive plans which we also would get. So everybody, those who have heard me saying all the time the incentive plans, I am going to repeat the 2 incentive plans today. One which is there throughout the years and it is quarterly paid. So that is the POC incentive plans. So this is where you bring in, you register in POC. The POC is successful and you are qualified for a Amazon gift voucher from us, which is 5,000K. And this is not dependent on the closure of the order. It is just a POC needs to be done. So this is throughout the year, quarterly paid. This is one. I hope I'm clear on the first incentive plan. The second one is if registered for 25 lakhs plus deal and you have an exciting incentive, come back to me on the email. Just do a registration. I'll reply back with the incentive plan. Not right now. Probably once I get an email, I'll respond back. What is the incentive you're going to get on the 25 lakhs plus deal? Perfect. These are the 2 incentives which are there. Rest all we'll discuss one-to-one when we are meeting.
Because you want to
Let's
get
move
rid of the 25 lakh thing. I mean, it should not be, it can be multiple deals. So they can have 10, 10, 13, 10,
yeah,
10,
one,
5, something like that also.
correct. If one in a quarter, this is also paid quarterly. If one person, like for example, I take Pankaj. Pankaj is closing 3 deals, 10 lakh, 10 lakh plus 5 lakh. That comes to a 25 lakhs. He is also qualified for that 25 lakhs incentive. 25 lakhs deal incentive. Multiples of or a single deal slot. Okay. So this is there for the incentives. Many more will be discussed in front of you. Probably today we'll have this only 2 incentive plans discussed. Let's move to the next slide. This is very interesting slide. Today, as I said, there's an outrage happened outside and a lot of things. Pankaj, you can move to the next slide. So there are a lot of things happening in the market, and I'm sure you as a team, as a sales team member, we interact with a lot of customers today, day in, day out. If there is anything, if you feel that there, yes, probably if your customer is using some XYZ solution and he is in trouble, please come back to us. We'll also help you doing the POC. One is you'll get an incentive. Second is you will also resolve the problem of the customer and get him a relief on the attacks or whatever has been happening today. Or if there is any customer you feel that you want us to do a demo or explore the technology, please help us. Say yes or no. We will call you back and we'll understand where we can go and explore together. So we are here. We are nationally present. We have Pankaj on North. We have South Nitya, and here we have Prateek and Siddesh. I'm part of West team. You can just write to us. Pankaj, can you go to the next slide? You can contact us on the email addresses mentioned on the slide and come back to us. Thank you so much. I hope we are done with it. If there is any question more, we can take it up. Otherwise, we can close in next 10 minutes. So any customer you feel that you want to explore, discuss, we will come together. Joint meeting can be done. Please rate this poll. We'll call you and we'll connect with you to take this up. I hope it was an excellent session, Pankaj. The questions are less. Rather,
Yes,
they have understood
more information.
they've understood the presentation, what you explored, and probably they understood what exactly the technology we are talking about, and the number of solutions we can take in the market, and the number of vulnerabilities, and the number of security portfolio outage we can give it to the customers, the competitive analysis. I'm sure they're all known sales team members out there. Everybody are, I mean, we know each other. Obviously, they'll come back to us. We should end this session.
I think
Sure.
Partner Portal is having the competitive analysis sheets in place. And if customer is using any kind of other WAF solution, they want to secure their APIs. If they are using any kind of CDN solution and they want to have a WAF solution, in both of the scenarios, Indusface is CDN agnostic and WAF agnostic also. For APIs, they can use us. For the other application security purpose, they can integrate us with any CDN. Not an issue.
So anybody who is having a channel portal, partner portal login here, you can go back to your team members. Somebody would have the login. You'll have the collaterals in the login itself for your usage. And if you want to do a deal registration, probably you can go do their deal registration online. and we'll help you out in meeting the customer and exploring the technology.
Anybody doing a deal registration today, Nutan will offer a cold coffee, right? Incentive तो हमने already बता दिया आप लोगों को. You guys know what incentive plan we have. Great. So I think the queries since are not there, we are good to wrap up this session. What say, Nutan?
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. The emails are there. I believe you have our numbers also. You can reach me or Nutan anytime. We are there to help you out. Thanks. Have a nice weekend.